I love being part of Team for Kids. Team for Kids has really changed my life, honestly, in a lot of ways. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Runnah, your favorite local running community. I'm Juliana, and we are here today because I am here to tell you all that, one, you should subscribe to the channel. Myrtle is also here with me. And then I will be running the London Marathon in April, and I'm so excited because, as you might have seen, I am currently wearing my Team for Kids singlet, and Myrtle is so excited as well, too. She's so thrilled that I will be running this. But I will be putting back on the TFK, Team for Kids green singlet, and we are both, Myrtle and I, so excited to be able to put on this singlet again and run for the charity that I've run all of my, at least, how many races? 3 of my 6 world majors with, coming on to London as well, too. So I'm so excited for that. Before we get into that, today I'm going to be just talking about what it's like to fundraise for a charity, why I fundraise for Team for Kids, and hopefully inspire some other people to maybe run with Team for Kids. They have a ton of races that you can be part of, including the New York City Marathon, which is awesome. And then maybe inspire some of you to donate to my fundraiser, because I'm currently trying to raise $4,000 via my London Marathon experience for Team for Kids. And it's a really wonderful cause. And I would definitely love if anyone had any spare funds that they think they can throw in. It's all very much appreciated. So let's start off with some information about my charity, Team for Kids, and why I run for them and what they are doing in our community. I have my notes over here so that way I don't get anything wrong. So Team for Kids, what they support, the funds they raise go directly to the New York Road Runners, which is the parent company of Team for Kids. This is New York Road Runners' official charity. It goes to the New York Road Runners youth and community programs, including the Rising New York Road Runners program. And these programs are school-based, event-based, and digital. And they are free running and fitness programs for many students. The money covers training for volunteers, teachers, coaches, equipment, and practice and supplies, and also the student incentives. For many kids participating in this is kind of their only place where they can go that's safe to play and to do physical activity. So it really is catering that community and those friendships that we know and love from being adult runners for the most part as kids, and being able to show them that like physical activity is fun, running is fun, and be able to provide them with the equipment and the coaches and the spaces that they need to be physically and mentally fit kids, which I think is a really, really wonderful thing. And I love being part of Team for Kids. It's my charity. Team for Kids is my charity, and I absolutely love it. I like to describe it as the nicest group of humans you're ever going to meet in your entire life. I absolutely love being part of a charity where you show up and everyone is a nice person. That being said, Team for Kids is the only charity that I've ever ran with, and I was so nervous to show up to the starting line when I did at the New York City Marathon, where I hadn't met anyone ahead of time, really. Like, I'd met a few people at the packet pickup booth, because you get, there's a separate Team for Kids booth at the New York City Marathon. And I had gone over there and I had said hi to a few people, but I didn't really know anyone. And I had connected with people outside of this booth in the Facebook group beforehand. But Team for Kids has a very large presence in the New York City area. But if you live outside of New York City, you can't really get to any of their practices, which is completely fine because they do so much within New York. So if you are local to New York, this is your charity, my friends. This is who you should be going with, because they provide in-person coaching and group runs and other events throughout the entire year. And you can just join up with them regardless for which race you're training for, which I think is absolutely fabulous. And like I said, I've met some of the kindest humans in the entire world through this charity. But I didn't know anyone before I showed up to the starting line. And I just remember showing up because at the New York City Marathon specifically, because this is the New York City Marathon's premier charity, you get a special ferry and a special bus and a special starting area and a special finish area if you're with TFK. And I showed up to our ferry because it was only TFK people who were on the ferry. And I was so nervous because I didn't know anyone. I immediately started talking to a few people and immediately realized like these were my people. They were all like a bunch of different like variations and thoughts and feelings around kind of my personality of just like everyone is welcome, everyone should be friends, like why can't we all be friends? And everyone was just like the kindest humans I've ever met in my life. Immediately made a group of friends. Immediately they took me in. I am still friends with these people to this day. It's so wonderful. And I feel like when you run with a charity, regardless if it's Team for Kids or another charity, you get people who actually want to be there and are just like kind, compassionate humans at a baseline who care enough to fundraise for something that they genuinely believe in, that they are just nice people. And it's just such a wonderful experience. And I remember when I ran the Boston Marathon for the first time. If you ever run the Boston Marathon, like, one, congratulations, good for you. I'm so proud of you. Yay. Two, there's definitely a culture of elitism there. And I've talked about this before, and this is why I don't really like the Boston Marathon as a race, because there is a lot of elitism when it comes to the people who are sub-elites, the people who qualify for Boston, time qualify. It really makes me upset a lot of the times in the way that charity runners get talked about by these people, and how like charity runners aren't like real Boston Marathon runners. And like they are, I can tell you what, I was way more scared to fundraise $2,500 for my first New York City Marathon than I was to train for it. Because putting that price tag, because they make you commit to that straight out the gate. Like with London, I signed on the dotted line that if I don't make $4,000 in donations, I have to pay the rest. And that's just like in the donations. Like I'm still paying for all my travel, my entry into the race, all my gear and everything. Like it's just like, this is an extra thing that I have to raise money for. It doesn't cover any of the other travel expenses or anything else that's going along with this. So you're putting your name on the dotted line. And that was more terrifying to me than just being like, okay, well, I signed up for the race. I paid my $100, $200, $300, whatever it was for the race. And now I just have to train. It's like, no, I have to do that. Plus now I have to fundraise $2,500 or $4,000 like I'm doing right now. I would say everyone is a valid runner, but honestly, fundraising is just as terrifying as hitting a time goal. So people who are charity runners are no less or no more. We're all equal when it comes to the amount of time and effort and everything we're putting in to reach the starting line. When we don't need to poo-poo the charity runners. We don't need to poo-poo the charity runners. They're also, I think people don't realize that there are people who are charity runners who are fast. Like it's not just like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hour marathon people who are like going at a nice, like consistent party pace, which is still a valid pace to be going at. There are people who run like 2:30 marathons, who run with Team for Kids, who run with the Diabetes Foundation, who run with St. Jude's. Like there are people who run with them, and there are people who are fast, who run with these charities, who could be up at the start at the first corral because they're so fast, but choose to be in the corral with all their other charity people because it's just so much more fun. People here who are here for charities, we are just here to have a nice time. No matter what pace we're going at, we're here to make sure everyone around us feels welcomed and kind and supported, and make sure that we're just having a nice time. It's a good time. I love being part of Team for Kids. Team for Kids has really changed my life, honestly, in a lot of ways. It's just such a wonderful group. And I'm sure all the charity people out there, if you run with the charity consistently, you can show up to any of these races and you have friends there. Even with Tokyo, where I didn't run with Team for Kids because I had a lottery entry, I still wore my TFK singlet, which this is kind of fun now too, because this has come with me to Tokyo, to Berlin, and to New York, and it's going to come with me to London too. So it's a lot of fun. And you don't get a singlet with Team for Kids until you fundraise, I think, 1,000, at least half your goal. You have to reach half your goal for whatever the first race is that you're running with TFK, and then they send you your singlet after that. And I have personalized it. Most of us have personalized our singlets, and they have our names on them. I will say, Team for Kids, honestly, we should get the award for like best pictures taken at races, because the Team for Kids peeps, we are like expert level at getting in front of the photographer and like mugging it up for the camera. You should see the pictures that, if you guys have seen the picture of me at Berlin, just imagine everyone across the Team for Kids team doing like the exact same thing, like unintentionally, because we know how to like spot the camera people and get in front of the camera. Plus, we're all wearing this color green, so it's a little bit distinctive too. We're just here to have fun. But it's nice to go somewhere like Tokyo, where like I wasn't running with Team for Kids. I was still seeing people before the race in Tokyo who were like, Juliana. And I remember Tara passing me around like mile 10, because it's a lot of out and backs. And she was running on the first out and I was coming back. And she just screamed, Juliana! I was like, Tara! In Tokyo! Because she saw my Team for Kids singlet. And like when I was starting at the Berlin Marathon this past year, I ran into someone else and I just started talking with this guy. I was like, Team for Kids? He was like, Team for Kids. I was like, oh my gosh. So, and it was a guy who grew up in Berlin and then moved to New York and now was living in New York and was running for Team for Kids. And I was like, that's great. We love to see it. But wearing one of these singlets is almost a guarantee that you're going to run into someone who's just a kind person. And I really love that. I love that sense of community. I love that like kind of like locking in that this is a kind, nice person. And on top of that, we are doing so much good for the community. Not only are we being inclusive and inviting and kind to the people who are running with us and want to maybe join in with our charity, and like encouraging people, be like, you can do big things. You got this. Everyone, like, we know you have this. Like, not even at just like big races, but just like day to day, you know, too. But we're also raising so much money for all these kids who need this help. So like across the board, it's a great experience, you know? And I'm just so honored to be given a spot to fundraise and being able to fundraise this much money. My goal is $4,000 for the London Marathon. And on top of all of this, this will be my 6th World Marathon major. So I will be not only fundraising $4,000 for Team for Kids and doing good in that way, getting to spend time with all my TFK peeps at the London Marathon, which will be wonderful. I will get my big 6-star, as long as I complete this race, my big 6-star medal and be a 6-star World Marathon major finisher, which is very exciting. And Team for Kids is a big part of that. Like I said, they're the ones who got me into New York and into Berlin and now into London. And I couldn't be more thankful for them, honestly. Like I said, they've changed my life in big ways. I would say if you are thinking about running with a charity, do it. It's a lot of fun. It's wonderful. And you're going to do good, not only for yourself, for your mental health, for your physical health, but you are going to be doing good for your community. And pick a charity that you feel passionate about. Pick a charity where you know that if you sign up for it, you're going to meet other like-minded people who are passionate about like preventing diabetes, about childhood cancer, about breast cancer, whatever it is, about bringing physical activity and community and joy into kids' lives from an early age when they wouldn't otherwise have it. Find the people that you really resonate with, and those are going to be your peeps. And you're going to have a great time. And you're going to learn a lot of things about yourself. And you're going to put yourself out there more. Because if you're charity fundraising, you got to actually be like, okay, who wants to donate to me? And you have to, in some way, put yourself out there more. And you're going to grow as a human in so many more ways than you thought you ever were. So I would personally recommend running for a charity. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's wonderful. If you ever want to run for Team for Kids, you should, because it's a wonderful charity to run with. I'm very biased, but you know, anyone wearing the TFK green looks great. You look stunning in TFK green. Everyone does. Definitely look into it. Think about it. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them about like my experience running with the charity and also running with Team for Kids. And also, I'll just put out another ask too in the link in the description down below. If you want to donate 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks, or if you really want to go in and donate like 3,000 bucks, if you're feeling spicy about it, go for it. Any little bit counts. These are funds that are none of this money goes to me. Like I said, I'm paying for all my other expenses out of my own pocket. All this money goes directly to the kids. So I see none of it. It goes through the website. All the Team for Kids people do is they check off and make sure that I reach the $4,000, and then they don't put any charges on my credit card. So make sure that if you can, you are donating, and I send you out a big thank you and a huge hug for being open-minded, open-walleted, and also just being yourself and being kind and getting out there and doing your best. Okay, my friends, that's going to wrap up today's episode, all about what it's like to run for Team for Kids and a charity. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can be part of your favorite local running community every week here on Runnah, and potentially follow me all the way to the London Marathon in April. And I'm so proud of all of you. I'll see you soon. Bye! Chip chip and cheerio! Thank you for listening to this episode of Runnah. This podcast is edited, hosted, and produced by me, Juliana Coughlin. Brought to you in part by the Falmouth Running Club and the Falmouth Community TV station. If you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Instagram and on TikTok at RunnahPod. And you can send us an email at runnahpod@gmail.com. And our original theme music was brought to you by the one and the only wonderful Jeffrey Hutton. And keep up the great work. I'm proud of you.